Howdy everyone, this is Tricia and welcome to my channel. Today we'll be doing a fall Deco Mesh wreath. Now let me tell you, when I first started working with Deco Mesh, I was not a fan of it. I didn't like it, but I thought I'd try it out and use it in one of my videos. And slowly it has been building up and I have now liking it very, very much. And I don't mind working with it at all. So that's why I decided to go ahead and do this for a fall wreath. Now I do have some other items that I'm going to be putting on this wreath. This time it is not a Dollar Tree wreath, it is a Dollar General of all places. Yes, I was in Dollar General and I saw some fall items and I decided that, you know what, I am going to use these because they're really pretty and they're not as expensive, say, as Hobby Lobby or Michael's, you know, those high-end art stores or craft stores, but they were not inexpensive like the Dollar Tree where everything is $1. But I thought it was somewhere in the middle, and I think it's very affordable. And even if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, you're in another country and you don't do Thanksgiving, but maybe you do welcome in fall, maybe you do welcome in autumn. So this is very autumny, and maybe you may not find these items, but maybe if you look through Amazon or, you know, places like that, like eBay, maybe even to find your craft items, you may find similar items. If not, you can at least use the idea to do something for a different holiday. So just purchase items, say for Christmas, for example, if you do celebrate that. Well, anyway, let me show you what the supplies are so we can go ahead and get to making this craft. Okay, the first thing I found was this 25-foot mesh ribbon, and this is what is it, 10 inches. Instead of the usual 6 inches that I find at the Dollar Tree. This is 10 inches and it is 25 feet long, and look how pretty that is. It has sort of a burlap look to it, but it also has this metallic gold and some orange and some brown, and they're beautiful colors regardless of the season. They are beautiful. Okay, and then I also found this teardrop door hanger. Look at that. This goes on a doorknob. You can just hang it on a doorknob or hang it on, you know, with a little tack or a little nail on your door. But you know what? I'm going to use it in the wreath. This cost me $4, by the way. This other item was $5. And they have this cute little sign. Let me get this untangled. And there we go. That was only $1. Look at that. $1. This is hay rides, apple picking, caramel apple, falling leaves, and harvest blessings. I thought that was really pretty. So that's really nice. And here is one of my decorative items. It's a decorative fruit. That's what it's called. And there's little gourds, little pumpkins in there, and some pine cones, and even a little fall leaf in there, just for decor. This is probably something that you would probably just toss into a little bowl on your desk. But we're going to put it on our wreath. I had an item fall down, so I'll get it in a moment. I've got 2 ribbons that I found there also at Dollar General. These were only $2 each. Look at that. $2 for a ribbon like this. It's so beautiful. It is wire etched and it is a bit higher quality type of ribbon, so it's very nice. I love this one. I got this one because I love orange and it does coordinate very well with this other one, and I wasn't sure which one I really wanted, so I just grabbed both, and I'll use a little bit of both. Let me grab the item that fell and I'll be right back. Okay, the other items that I grabbed, these are from the Dollar Tree, and this is these mesh, not mesh, but it is like a, I don't know what it is. What would this fabric be called? I do know what it is, I can't think. So anyway, I got these 2, and I'll open it up so that you can see. I actually have 2 that are already open because I had purchased 4 of them from the Dollar Tree, 1 of each, and I have left over, so I'm going to be using that first. But I got these, and these are 6 inch by 3 yards of ribbon. It's a fabricy ribbon. Let me go ahead and show you. Look at that. It's a sheer fabric. But it's very beautiful. Look at those beautiful orangey coppery leaves. And then this one has like feathers. They're like gold. They're beautiful. I just found them to be really beautiful. So I went ahead and I grabbed that. Also from the Dollar Tree, I grabbed a little packet that had 3 metal words in it. I think they were harvest, welcome, and thankful. I used harvest on my cornucopia wreath that I showed you, I think it was last week. And so I have the thankful and I have the welcome, and I decided to save the welcome for Christmas, but I'm going to be using this thankful metal word for this particular wreath because I'm very thankful. Also from the Dollar Tree, I grabbed this. This is a 14-inch metal wreath shape. That's what it is. This is what we're going to be working on to put all our products on. I have my little cutting mat and my rotary cutter, but I also have my scissors ready. I have my glue gun with some glue sticks ready. I think I may be using the glue gun a little bit, and I do have some chenille stems or pipe cleaners. I just happen to have these left over from Halloween, so I'm going to use them. It doesn't really matter. They're not really going to show, but you probably want to get some that coordinate, you know, the color to coordinate with what you're working with. So I think probably for something for this, if I had grabbed some gold ones or maybe even some brown ones, it would have been perfect, or even orange. Okay, so let's get to crafting. Alright, so I've got my form here, my wreath form, and this is separated into 6 little sections, and I'm thinking that I'm going to put 5 bits of mesh in each one of these, so I need to cut at least 30. Now, I don't know if I can get 30 out of here. I do have 25 feet, so we're going to see. I love this. And once I open this up, I do realize that it is like, you know, like twine type of a, you know, ropey kind of a fabric that is used to create this mesh. It's not the usual mesh material, so it's really, really nice. Okay, I'm going to cut 6-inch pieces out of these because I think that is enough. So let me just make sure and test that out first and see if that'll be good enough. Yep, I think that'll be good enough. We're going to cut 6-inch pieces. I'm hoping that I can get 30 out of this. If I don't, that's fine. We'll work with whatever we can get out of here. We have a whole 25 feet to work with. Okay, so let me put this on here. I'm going to hold it down with this ruler here. Okay, when you're working with mesh, it is a little troublesome. I have been asked, you know, how do I keep it from fraying so much? I really don't have an answer to that. I believe some people have had an answer to that, but I haven't really paid attention to it because I'm not doing it. So if you do have that answer to that for some of the viewers, go ahead and put that down in the comments below. Okay, so we're going to do 6 inches of this. And I'm going to be using my rotary cutter. If you don't have a rotary cutter, you can use your scissors. I feel like the rotary cutter just works a little bit quicker in doing something like this. So that's why I like to use it. But if you don't have one, no fret, use your scissors. I do recommend that you invest in a rotary cutter and a little mat. I have a larger one and I have a small one. I'm using the small one for now. So as you can see, it works just fine for a project such as this. Alright, I'm going to keep cutting these and try to cut out 30 of them. I'm going to go ahead and take these rolls that are already open and try to get as much as I can out of these. And I'm also going to do probably, let me do half of that. I'll do 15 so I can do halfsies on these. And then of course I have my ribbons. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with them and see how many I can get out of here. And I'm sure I can't get, probably not going to get 30 pieces out of each one. So I think I'm probably going to try and get at least half of that, which was 15. So we're going to go ahead and go with that. And I shall be back. Alright, before I continue, I want to give a shout out to a viewer. Her name is Dream Walking Angel. She has her own channel. I will put the link in the description box below to her channel. Make sure you go over and subscribe to her. She was really sweet and gave me a shout out. And she did the witchy hat wreath or wall hanging, whatever you want to call it. And she gave me a little shout out. So I thought it was really sweet of her. So I want to do the same in return, and so that we can have, you know, us small YouTubers support each other. So go ahead and follow the link below and go into her channel and subscribe and give her some love. And let me go ahead and continue. Alright, I've gone ahead and I've cut all my mesh and my ribbon and my sheer fabric into all the pieces that I think I will need. And I'm just going to put them aside because now I need to cut chenille stems. And I would basically just cut these in half, but I'm going to go ahead and cut them in 3 because the last time that I've been using the chenille stem, I find that I have a long little tails left over at the end that I curl up and just kind of tuck in behind the wreath. So I think if I cut it into thirds, it'll be just fine. So that basically means this is a 12-inch. So if I cut it into thirds, I need 4-inch pieces. So here I am cutting 4. Let's do this again, and another 4. So now I've got 30 pieces. I had 10 chenille stems, so that's 30 pieces right there. I'm going to put these to the side. Okay, so now we want to go ahead and start creating our little bundles with our mesh, our ribbon, and our little fabric. So this is what I thought I would do, is I would take, let's put these like that. I'm going to combine this brown with the orange, and I'm going to combine the orange with the gold. Okay, I got my little fan on. This is kind of blowing everything out of the way. I'm a little hot, so anyway, because you know what? It's hot in Texas. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to combine these two on every, you know, I'm going to take turns on these mesh, that first, and then another one with this. So that makes any sense to you, great. If not, you're going to see what I'm doing in just a moment. Okay, let me put these out of the way. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my mesh. Now, I cut it 6 inches. You could cut it 8, you could cut it 10, but you probably need a lot more mesh, so maybe you want to get yourself 2 rolls. The same with the ribbon and the same with this other fabric, or if you use like a tool, make sure you get yourself a double of what I'm doing if you feel like you want bigger pieces or more on your wreath. I barely had enough with the ribbon, and I barely had enough with that sheer fabric. Now I do have some of this mesh left over, so I'm just going to save that for another project because I feel like this is going to be good enough, at least for me it is. So I'm just going to roll this up, put it in my fingers, take one of the ribbons, and these probably should have been like about 8 inches, but like I said, I would have to buy more ribbon, so I don't want to have to do that. So there we go. I'm just going to grab that and put it right in there. Once I've got them together, then I can go ahead and take my little chenille stem and wrap it up and make my little bundle. There we go, just like that. And just enough there so that I can grab onto the wire of the wreath. And then we can just poof these up as we need them once we've placed them on the wreath. So that's my little bundle. Make one more. Grab that. And the feather. Okay, there we go. I'm going to continue making my bundles and I shall be back. Alright, and I am back and I have all of these done. There's 30 pieces of these mesh and ribbon bundles that I have put together. And I have my wire wreath here, my form. And as you can see, this wreath or this form is separated into 6 sections. I think I mentioned that before. So I'm going to be putting 5 bundles in each of these sections. So I'm just going to be alternating. So I'll do like an orange ribbon, then the brown, then the orange, then the brown, then the orange. And then I'll continue on to the next section with brown, orange, so forth and so on. I'm just going to alternate the 2 colors, but I'm going to do 5 in each section. So that'll be 30 altogether. I'm just going to go ahead and start with this orange one, for example. And I'm going to go into these 2, there's 4 rings around my wreath form here, and I'm going to use the 2 in the middle. So I'm going to use this top one for my orange, and then just right behind there, just twist it. That looks so pretty, and it's big enough to cover anything in the middle. Okay, now I'm going to grab a brown one, and I'm going to go on this other one here, twist it from the back or at the back, and then just push in your little ends so they're not sticking out and then maybe scratching your wall or door depending on where you put it. Okay, I'm going to continue with the orange and then the brown and orange and so forth. Okay, I'm going to stop right here so that I can show you the how full it is, that one section. That way you can decide on your own if you feel like you want to do more than just 5. Maybe you want to do 6 bundles. But anyway, that is one section with 5 bundles in it, okay? That's what it looks like. You could do 6. Let me just put another, I could put another brown one in here. Let me show you how that would look. Oops. Okay, just kind of not tightly tying it because I might take it off. Okay, you could do that, or you could do 6 of them. So then you'll need to have 36 bundles done. And as a matter of fact, I have enough mesh, I have enough ribbon still, and I have enough of the other sheer fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it like that because I do like it a little bit fuller. So instead of 30, you're going to be cutting 36 pieces, which means you're going to do 18 of each of the ribbons if you decide to alternate ribbons. If you use the same ribbon throughout, or if you want to use double the ribbon on each one, well then make sure you have at least 2 rolls of each ribbon so that you can do that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and continue, and I shall be back. Okay, I'm finishing up my wreath. I have one more to add. Where does it go? Right in. I lost track here. I was moving them around. Here we go, right here. And that is it. Okay, I think it looks really pretty. I love the look of how these little mesh curls kind of stick out and the ribbon is all in the middle. Now, if you like your ribbon to be longer than that, of course, like I said, cut them longer pieces. I really enjoy this look. The only thing that I would say is maybe instead of 6-inch pieces of ribbon, I probably should have cut maybe 8. I think a little bit more of them showing would have been a little bit better, but you can still see them. And look how full that looks. And I did end up cutting 36. There we go. This is what it looks like from the back where it's all tied up. Okay, so I'm just making sure that now all my little mesh pieces are coming forward. I want to put the sign on my wreath. So I've got this sign right here, and it's got a little bit of a rope here. Now to attach the wreath, the way that I do it is I just hot glue them onto the mesh and just leave them like that, and that's fine for me. Now some of you, or there's been a couple of you who have suggested that I should put chenille on the back of them and use that to tie it down, which is a great idea. Anytime you want to have something that's on there and sturdy, you could of course tie them down. And since this really has these little holes right here where I could grab it from, or I could just hot glue, just fold your chenilles in half, hot glue them to the back wherever it is that you feel you're going to be grabbing. You know, like if you put them on the sides here, then you could take the chenille, tuck it in there, and then tie it from behind, and you can do the same thing on the other side like so. So that's what I'm going to do. Let me move my wreath out of the way. I'm going to get 2 pieces here and fold them in half, and I have my hot glue gun ready here, and just put lots of glue over it and let that dry really well before you attach it, or before you would try to attach it, because you might just pull it all off. Okay, so we're going to let that dry. And I'm going to do the same thing to my little fruit or my vegetables. I don't know, is pumpkin a fruit or a vegetable? There we go. It's got seeds inside, so I don't know what the rules are. Okay, so here we go. I think they're vegetables. Okay, so I got all my little pumpkins and my little pine cones. These I can just hot glue them on. No big deal. But I could also put chenille stem on them. Ooh, this mesh bag here is getting stuck. Okay, I just noticed this little pieces fell off when I put them on top of something. They just fell off. Okay, let's stick them back on. The glue's not too hot, that's why I'm touching it. Just to push them down, but it's tacky enough. So I'm just going to put more glue over to make sure that it is sealed into place. Okay, let's put that aside. Okay, we can do the same thing with the fruit. Now the fruit, again, like I said, I just hot glue things down, so we could just hot glue them down. But if you know how you want to put them on there, what you can do is you can take your hot glue gun and say you want to put this one in, but you don't want to just put it just flat on there, but kind of at a little angle. Then I know that I need a little wire back here, so I'm just going to melt a little hole into the pumpkin, pour in some glue, and I'm also going to take a chenille stem, again, fold it in half, and then tuck it into that little hole. And then I'm just going to pop it open like that, just a little bit. Just like that. Let me grab my hot glue gun again. Like that. And then I'm just going to put some more glue on there to make sure that it sticks on well. So I'm going to let that dry. So now I just need to remember that that one's going to go like that. I'm probably going to do the same to all of them. Just kind of get it off to the side. Get some more of these chenille stems ready. So just on the side, melt a little hole into it, pour some glue in there, fold your chenille stem, tuck it into the hole, just pop it open a little bit, get some glue over it, underneath it, and so forth, just to get a good seal of glue on there. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do to this other one as well. There we go. And I'm not going to do it to the pine cones because I feel the pine cones are really light, so I don't really need that. I don't need to do it to this little pumpkin. I'm just going to put them off to the side because I'm going to add them on at the very end. I'm also going to be adding this beautiful door hanger, but it's just going to be a swag on my wreath. Okay, I'm going to move this over so we can find the placement for our sign. And I'm putting it facing you as if you're the one who's building this. So you're looking at it. Let's see, put this away. Put that away. Get some items out of my way here. Okay. So you can get a good look at it. Okay, here we go. So now we're going to go ahead and bend the chenille stems downward because, you know, we want them to go into the wreath. So they're going to get tucked in there somewhere. And I'm going to go ahead and do one side first. And I think that I'm just going to place it right about there. So I'm just going to slide a couple of these apart so I can see what I'm doing. And it doesn't matter which of these wires I attach it to. Now, when you attach it, leave enough slack. You don't want to push it all the way in there to tie it down. You want to leave enough slack so it doesn't squash your decorations, your ribbon, all that beautiful ribbon that you worked to put in there. And the chenille stem ends can be just trimmed off with the wire cutters or your good cutting scissors that you don't use for fabric. Okay. Alright, and then push that back, and I'm just going to find another little opening, and it's right about here where I have to do it. And I'm going to tuck those in right there. This time I'm going to reach from underneath. I think it's a little bit easier this way. But I'm not pulling it tight downward because I don't want to squish all the ribbon. Okay, and I'm just going to twist the chenille back here together. I could trim it or just trim it or just twist it and roll it into itself. There we go. Make sure you poof up your mesh and so forth. Look at that. That's so pretty on there. Okay, I'll fix the camera so we can look at it a little bit better, and I'll be right back. Alright, here we go. There's our wreath with a sign on it. Now I want to put some fruit, and I'm going to put this swag on here. Right on. I want to put it kind of off to the side here. I could put it on the bottom, or I could take it completely apart and add all the pieces separately. But what I want to do is I really want to get rid of this big part. I feel like I don't need that. But hold on, I have a little bit of ribbon left over. It's not a lot. It might just be enough. Okay, it's enough to just do some sort of a a little ribbon. So I'm going to take these 2 long pieces of ribbon, and they're about, I don't know, 12 inches left of ribbon. And I'm just going to cut the ends the way that I like them to be. There we go, just like that. Get this out of the way. I was having my breakfast, a late breakfast, more of a brunch actually. I'm sitting here doing this and I'm watching Pioneer Woman on this Food Network, and while that, I just said, hey, I need to eat and have my coffee. Okay, so anyway, here we go. Here's my little 2 pieces. I'm going to put them together and just grab them in the middle. Let me grab a chenille stem. I have a little piece right here. There we go. That's good enough. That's not in the middle. Let's go a little bit more. Let me fold it in half. There we go. This, I think I'm going to put the orange one underneath this other one because I really like the little berry design on this one. They're both beautiful. Okay. Okay, so what I wanted to do was, if you have enough ribbon, make a bow. Okay, so what I wanted to do was put this bow ribbons right up on top of here, so it kind of covers up a little bit of this, but in order to get rid of some of it, I'm going to use my wire cutters, and I'm just going to trim this big, thick piece off of it, because I don't want that to show. I really don't want it sticking out. I don't mind all these other little rope bits. That's fine. So now I'm going to go ahead and take my ribbon and tie it around this little bit right here. I'm going to need a bigger piece of chenille stem to tie this down onto my actual wreath. But for now, this is good enough to attach these ribbons onto here. Once we get them on our wreath, we can shape them. Okay, so now I've got this nice little shape, and I'm just going to make sure these are open and tuck this in to the middle of them. And this is where I want it. So now I got to get a longer piece of chenille, wrap it around here, and then tuck it in just like I did on the sign. So I got a nice long piece. Like I said, I'm using black because I had these left over from Halloween and I just wanted to use them, and I don't have the color to go with this because I didn't think about buying that. So I'm just going to use this and use them up. And then, but if you want to do this and you're buying everything from scratch, then get yourself some chenille stems that match your ribbons. They don't really show, but you know, why not? Okay, I'm gonna just get this on here nice and tight because I do not want this to wobble around, if you will. Okay, once I've got this, I'm just gonna look underneath here and make sure all my ribbons are open, because this is gonna rest between them like so. And now over here where this big pine cone is, I'm going to go ahead and wrap another chenille stem right on the little rope bit here, and then bring it in there and tie it down as well, just so it doesn't swing around. And there's nothing wrong with it swinging around, but I don't want it to do that. So I'm just going to put these over to the side and move these out of the way so I can find a place to tuck in the chenille around a piece of wire on the wreath. There we go. And then just twist it in place. And this time, I think, oh my, I'm going to go ahead and trim off the ends there. Okay, there we go. Just like that. It's got a little bent, so I'm just going to fold it back and just twist the leaves on it. So make sure all the leaves are facing forward. There was one that wasn't. Actually, there's two. Okay, there we go. That looks pretty. And then just poof up your ribbon and bend it and do whatever you want to it. There we go. There's your bow. Or actually, not a little ribbon. That's not really a bow. It's just a kind of a faux, kind of a illusion of a bow there. Okay. And now that we've got all that on there, this is when you can go ahead and hot glue, well, maybe God glue it. Okay, you can go ahead and hot glue everything on, or you can use them on the chenille stem like I prepared some of the pumpkins. Let me get all these little pine cones back over here. Get some stuff out of the way. I did have this thankful metallic wording, and I realized, you know, I have a lot of words already on my wreath, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this thing out. But of course, if you don't find a little sign or something like this, and maybe it's just a little picture of a pumpkin, you could add that on there or just put it on the wreath just like that. But I'm going to go ahead and save it for something else, since it's really going to kind of get lost, because there are some beautiful words on here. It doesn't, yeah, it does say harvest blessings. There is some blessing, little nice message there. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it like that. Okay, I'm going to take one of my pumpkins, and up here, between some of these, tuck this in, and then just tighten it back here, and trim, oops, trim any excess. There we go. I want the other one right about here. You decide where you want to put them. You can put them in a little bundle if you want. If you took, you know, this, whatever you find in florals apart, maybe a bush of leaves instead of this little bit that I found here, you can cut the bush up into pieces and tuck it in here and there. Okay, now I'm going to put the other one right about right here. Just moving things, separating them and moving them out of the way. There we go. I don't want anything to get caught in the chenille stem, so I'm just kind of making sure that's pulled out of the way. There we go. That looks so pretty. And I'm going to trim some of the excess from the back. A little excess wire. We don't need that. And I just want to make sure that it is wired on there. Now, just to make sure these little pumpkins don't go falling off, I am going to add a little bit of hot glue. And just back here, glue it to the mesh. And this is where you want to make sure, oh my, now my glue gun fell, excuse me, I'm just going to go get it and I'll be right back. Okay, so all I was doing is just making sure that my bundles are spread open as they should be, and they're not like getting all clumped up before I glue this little pumpkin, okay? Just gonna add some glue to that, right where it's sticking down, so it stays. Let me put this over here. The same to this one. I just want to make sure that the ribbon is not getting crushed. There we go, just like that. And now I know that I can go ahead and glue this pumpkin down. Alright, I got one more pumpkin and some pine cones. So I am going to turn this around so that you can see it like that. See the little pumpkins? Okay, I got one more little pumpkin, and I think I'm going to glue it on the side. There's actually a little orange pumpkin up here, but I'm going to cover it with this little green pumpkin. Plenty of glue so that it doesn't come off. Okay, so now we're just going to take these pine cones and also put some glue on them, and then tuck them here and there, right there. I'm going to put one up here somewhere. Another one up here. I'm just making sure that, you know, the ribbon is open and it's not getting squished. Oh, another one right about here, and this side is kind of questionable, so that's the side I'm going to put the glue on, so that can be facing downward. Okay, I'm going to put another one right about here. Glue. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I got one more pine cone here. Let me go ahead and put it right in here because this little bit here is showing and I don't like that. So let's just cover that up. It's really no big deal, but I'm just going to go ahead and Put the pine cone right there, even though there's plenty of other pine cones on here. And that cute little rope coming out of it. Pop that open. Let's get this pine cone up here in front. So I'm going to hot glue that also in place so it doesn't hide under that big leaf here. Let me put a little bit of glue on this one too. Oh, I'm running out of glue. Let's get another glue stick. Just so that it glues down and then stays in place. Okay. This big one is showing, this one's showing, so that's nice. Okay. That is our wreath. All the time that was taken was in creating these bundles with the mesh and the ribbons. So just get yourself seated down, get yourself comfy, get all your items prepared ahead of time, and then just watch some nice show on TV or watch my videos on YouTube. Haha. Okay, or like I said, our new friend, Dream Walking Angel, I believe was her name. And just watch some of her videos as well and give her lots of loving. Okay, so that's our finished wreath. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the camera so that you can look at it a little bit better, and then we'll do a little panning of it at the end of the video. And there we go. All right, everyone, here is the completed mesh, Deco Mesh wreath. I think it looks really pretty. I like it, so I'm going to give myself a big old thumbs up, and I hope that you will also. Make sure you leave a nice comment down below. This has been my fall Deco Mesh wreath. It can be hung on a wall, it can be hung on the door. Give it as a gift. It's not expensive. Maybe some of you are selling these items, I'm not sure. But anyway, this is it. I hope you enjoyed it and that you will subscribe. Thank you to all of my friends who have already subscribed. I love you very much. And thank you to all the new subscribers. Welcome to my channel. And make sure you share on your social medias. I do upload every Tuesday and every Thursday. And between now and the end of November, it will be all craft videos. Starting in October, I'll start doing Christmas. So hit that little notification bell so that you'll know when I upload my video. And then you can watch it. And don't forget to go over to our friend, Dream Walking Angel, and go ahead and subscribe to her as well and give her a big old thumbs up. And that's it. And as always, enjoy.